I and I vow say we not compromise. Cause in the war them ain't taking no break, yeah. Situation unreached to hold eyes. Why do they insist to wage a war upon your name? Cause in the Gideon ya know say we there, yeah. Weapon we bust are just fasting and prayer. Trample dragon any way that them lay, yeah. Just chant a psalm and them cannot get near, yeah. So stop eating out of a bill and cry. I'll keep and say the rest of my one. Our own land say them keeping we from. I know how long time they done build them wall. Why do they insist to wage a war upon the name? A war upon the name. Cause in the battlefield you know it's not easy. Man wear them shield every time. Sight them out I say before them deceive we. Man I see her from before we have sight. Why do they insist to wage a war upon the name? A war upon the name. A war upon the name. Wage a war upon the name. In the battlefield you know it's not easy. Man wear them shield every time. In the Gideon you know so we there, yeah. Weapon we use, fasting and prayer.
A tune called Late Night Ghetto. Hey. A tune called Late Night Ghetto. 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 If you tell your woman about some moon and stars in the sky, but some light from out far shining in her eye, yeah. Every crevice of the afterlife, as you share in final eyes, let Lone Ranger keep on wearing his disguise. Let the man that she sees be the man that she is. Bring her the fruit from the sun. Take away her double vision until she say, breathless again that feeling. Oh, Jah, she's so appealing, so sweet to hold that feeling. Give her the treatment of the late night ghetto. Give her the treatment of the late night ghetto. A tune called Late Night Ghetto. A tune called Late Night Ghetto. A tune called Late Night Ghetto.
All right. Good evening and good night, and welcome to the It's Your Perspective Talk Show. It is Thursday, October 17th, 2019. My name is David, a.k.a. Kimba, a.k.a. Christian, alongside
Beauty Soup.
Yeah, real quick, Soup, man. I just want to say that this is the It's Your Perspective Talk Show every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, live on Facebook Live, and also on streaming live from the VI.com radio. 2 ways to listen. Go to download the TuneIn app. And then search for streaming live from the VI.com radio. It'll pop up, hit play, boom. You'll be hearing the music as well. You can also listen to it through our website, streaming live from the VI.com. That is a website. It's up, it's operational. Go on our website, click on live radio, boom. You'll be hearing the music coming from our internet radio station. We play the most. We say Soup, the most versionized music every hour.
Yes, sir.
Guarantee that for sure, because I'm the DJ. Anyway, man, be also to check us out on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is up to date with the most recent shows that we have. Give us a like, give us a comment, let us know how you're feeling. But Soup, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Bless that mic, man.
All praises be unto the Most High. Jah
Rastafari.
I'm reading from His Majesty's speeches. He's talking about agriculture. Through man's quest for knowledge, which has resulted in securing the benefits of science and technology, we have found ways to overcome what only a few generations ago had looked insurmountable. That is, to search, to know, and to apply the knowledge that has been acquired. In many parts of the world, some people who had never swerved from reaching their objectives through education have exploited the wealth of their land through mechanized farming and building of industries, and have not only developed a high standard of living, but have also come to the aid of the underdeveloped countries of the world. All this has been possible through the constant desire of development and devotion to the search for knowledge as the key to economic, social, and cultural betterment. The Almighty, through His benevolence, has blessed us with fertile lands which hold great wealth, but because it has not been developed according to modern methods, the raising of standard of living of our people could not be accelerated according to our wish and desire.
All right, Soup?
Right.
Yes, I bless up. Thanks for that, man. Soup's been blessing us with the 8-year perspective talk show. Well over 5 years, man. But look, as we roll out here, man, we do have a special guest in the studio, man. Here we go. There he is right there. It's Ross Paul in the studio, man. Thanks for coming back through again, man.
Nice to be here again.
Yeah, thank you for blessing us, man.
Yes, I.
So you let's go back a little bit. You're responsible for the whole Moringa tea, Moringa pills. Tell us a little bit about that real quick.
Well, specifically, I'm responsible for Moringa Lion,
Okay.
which is simply a brand that for a Moringa product, and that specific Moringa product is just the drying of the leaves ground into powder and sold as a powder form.
Mm-hmm.
And as it's been a while since we've had capsules available, but yeah, vegan capsules, plant-based capsules.
Okay,
is another product.
So you don't do the capsules anymore?
Well, it's a rough way of saying it. At the moment, no.
Okay.
We had a facility here that we were packaging all of that in.
Okay.
That we built with a partnership, and that partnership dissolved through just differences of opinion.
Okay.
And so in the afterwards of that, we haven't gotten to the level to where we could do that again. So
okay.
I didn't find the right contract manufacturer
Okay.
to basically send the powder to.
Okay.
That I felt was gonna be doing it to my standards.
Okay.
Everybody wanted to mix in some type of filler, some type of expiant that just helps the machinery encapsulate this really dry, light powder.
Okay. I got
but
you.
I know that capsule machines can do it because I saw a machine right here on St. Croix spitting out 600 capsules a minute.
Oh, really? Okay.
And we had that going, and so we were on the verge of breaking, into the national market.
Okay.
And after that disagreement, we kind of just chilled out for a second. And in that time is when we linked up with the next step. I don't want to go too far into it yet.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But
Okay.
So
really all you can get now is just a powder for tea, basically.
correct. And even that is very limited because I'm putting so much of the powder into the next endeavor.
The next step. Okay.
Because business-wise, it's a better decision at the moment.
Okay.
And also, it's just a more popular product at
Okay.
the moment.
Okay. Okay. So, and that product is.
The Mystic Moringa
That's right.
chocolate bar.
Okay, man.
And it's a. I
Yeah,
brought
tell us about it, man. What was the whole, how did you come up with this whole concept?
Okay, well, I can't take credit for it.
Okay.
I can take credit for my part in it.
Okay, that's fair enough.
It's an official collaboration.
Okay.
Between Moringa Lion and a company out of Oregon.
Okay.
Called CBD Master Blends. Or the CBD Master Blends is where you can find them on Instagram.
Okay.
At CBD Master Blends.
Okay.
The company's name is Ancient Medicinal Herbs.
Okay, perfect.
And that when I say companies, people can automatically think like, oh, it's probably something big, but it's actually just one person.
Okay.
And he's a very amazing young man who's developed this company and a product line that is pretty vast.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He's got several different
Okay.
mixtures.
Okay.
And the base being full spectrum CBD, full spectrum hemp extract.
Okay.
Which contains the cannabinoid CBD in it in a higher concentration.
Con-
so
con-
it
concentrate.
gets that name CBD.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Okay.
yeah, so we linked up with him, and originally he has some tinctures that I was consuming,
Mhm.
and I found them very helpful for my own liberty,
Okay.
my own health.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but I was like, wow, this would be cool maybe to put moringa in a tincture.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay.
So I reached out to him, and he was game to try something. And at the time, he had just finished a chocolate bar
Mhm.
that contained turmeric.
Okay.
It's a golden bar, so it has turmeric and the
Wow.
CBD. And he sent me one as a sample, and it's delicious. For
Oh.
real.
Okay.
But he was like, man, I think the moringa would be, well, let's try it in the chocolate instead. And I was like, all right, you know what I mean? Because I know that from my personal experience with making cocoa tea, if you drop some moringa in the cocoa tea, it like exponentiates the flavor.
Yes.
It blows the flavor of the chocolate.
Chocolate.
up.
Okay.
It's crazy how it does that. They work as one. So I was game, and I didn't realize that it was a white chocolate bar at first. So I was
Oh.
like, man, white chocolate. I'm a dark chocolate fan. You know what I mean? Which I'm proud to say I have coming by Friday. There'll be an island, the dark chocolate version.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean? So
So this is vegan.
yeah.
This is vegan. So sort of a quick sidebar here on Facebook. I had posted vegan or ital, who you got. So that the people were just kind of going back in. But you say vegan dark chocolate, Mystic Morning CBD bar.
Well, the Mystic Moringa bar. This one here, the one that I'm about. You know what? You guys can try it here. Watch the packaging. Take a bite.
This is nice packaging too, man.
It's actually a
Put it up to the camera here.
a product made with sugarcane.
Okay.
The packaging, so it's a biodegradable.
Okay.
Is it all natural products, Paul? No animals byproducts at all in it?
No, none whatsoever.
Okay.
It's and a step further, it's even like carefully sourced ingredients. So
Okay.
the chocolate manufacturer who makes the chocolate is an artisan chocolate company out of Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
And so they're already in the chocolate game, in the elite of artisan chocolate bars that cost $15 to $20 and without anything else, just
chocolate.
chocolate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So this is a full spectrum CBD hemp.
Mm-hmm.
So when you take full spectrum, what do you mean by that?
All right, that's a really good question. So in this huge trend that you see with CBD products, CBD gets it's got this name, right? It's got this buzz name. Everybody's talking about it. Less spoken about is hemp, right? And that's where all of this CBD is really coming from. It's coming from a strain of cannabis
Yes.
that has a profile of cannabinoids where the CBD is in a higher concentration, and the THC makes it, when you could say hemp, has to be below 0.3 when it gets tested.
Okay.
So it's a trace amount of CBD or THC, which the federal government has determined does not get you high,
Okay.
and things like that, right? So, so when it says full spectrum on any product, is pretty much anything when the extraction process of the hemp flower. They take everything out of it, so you're getting all the terpenes, which are the scents, the flavonoids, which are the flavors, of all the trace elements, the trace minerals, the all vitamins, proteins, all the cannabinoids, everything that's in that flower, that plant, that biomass is getting extracted into the cocoa butter in this. In other realms, it might get extracted into something else. Now, to show the difference, right? If you see a CBD product, it just says CBD on it.
Yes.
A lot of those, like almost, I would say, like, bro, anything on St. Croix, pretty much, other than this, you'd have to show me another full spectrum.
Okay.
I think there's one company, man, a young woman and a young man, who spent some time in California have brought their business home actually. Anyway,
Okay.
so when the extraction happens, they'll isolate all the different. So imagine if when you extract all of this, everything out of all the medicine out of the plant, right?
Mhm,
You
out of
have it
flower.
you have it in a jar, right? Now another extracting method would be to take every individual part of that plant and
Okay.
put it into its own receptacle.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So
Okay.
you'd have terpenes over here. You'd have CBD over here by itself. So a company will come and buy the CBD
CBD
isolate is what they call it.
right.
Isolate.
Okay. Okay.
And then that is what they're putting in a lot of these CBD products and then pumping as medicine,
Okay.
which is arguable.
Okay. So it should say full spectrum to get the most of it.
In my opinion, yeah. And then even you gotta watch that because they're trying to get funny with the wording in the industry, where companies are trying to find a way that they can source all the different components at the cheapest place,
Yeah.
and then combine
Figures.
them into something. So now it's full spectrum because it's got everything, right?
Yeah.
Or they got another name that's like high spectrum or like almost full spectrum, like
Yeah. It's just somewhat of a trickery kind of thing going on there.
right. And so I mean that's what it comes down to. This is real medicine here. This isn't a candy bar.
So what do what can the benefits of this chocolate do?
All right. So on the it's multifaceted, right? So in my opinion, which can be backed by science. I don't have the science in front of me, nor do I have the full science on that yet. It takes time for these things to see, right? But we know that Moringa, which it has an entire gram of Moringa in each bar.
Okay.
So 1,000 milligrams of not extract, the actual powder from St. Croix,
Oh.
leaf powder.
Okay.
Okay.
A gram of it.
So is that a lot?
That's
Considered.
that's a healthy amount.
Okay.
That's a grip.
Okay.
Really, I mean, because think about how much would you really necessarily take a full gram
To
with your food or your smoothie?
Okay.
Yeah, you may.
Okay.
You know, or you may not. But so even if you take a third of the bar,
Yes.
you're still getting essentially what 300 and something milligrams of Moringa,
Yeah.
which is going directly to your bloodstream.
Yes.
And it's giving your body a dose of proteins,
Mhm.
a vast array of proteins, trace minerals, vitamins, you know,
Okay.
the whole profile of Moringa.
Okay.
And then on the other side now, to come with that, you have a nice dose going to your endocannabinoid system.
Okay.
So you're having all these, the medicine of the cannabinoids, the CBD, and all the other ones in their small amounts
Okay.
that are present. It's an entourage effect that's going into your endocannabinoid system. Do you know what that we do? Many of your listeners may not even, like, what did he just say?
talking about.
Let's
yes,
talk about that for a second, because that's a very important thing to know about your body function, and we know nothing about it.
Okay.
And it's essentially the regulatory system of all your other systems. If that thing's out of whack, then everything's out of whack. So
Okay.
now I watch it like a really good way that it was described to me was the endocannabinoid system of the human body at this point right now for almost every one of us, even people who smoke a lot of weed.
Mhm.
It's still this. It's still essentially the same. Their endocannabinoid system
Mhm.
is a desert.
Okay.
The only cannabinoid that they've really been getting any amount of
Mhm.
is THC, because that's what is most people smoking flower. Right?
Okay.
So you're getting essentially the only compound in nature that mimics our internal endocannabinoid, which is called anandamide, which we've known to this point as endorphins. An
Okay.
endorphin high
Yes.
is actually anandamide being released
Released
out of
into the
whoever
brain.
part of the brain it comes from.
Mhm.
And it's going into your endocannabinoid, which has receptors on it.
Mhm.
And your endocannabinoid system is throughout your entire body. All
Okay.
your organs, head to toe, everywhere in your body has receptors.
Okay.
So anandamide naturally binds to one of the receptors. There's two of them,
Mhm.
C1 and C2. And it binds to it, but it's quickly released. And that's why your endorphin high isn't sustained hours long. You know
Okay.
what I mean? You feel good for a while.
Right.
And then
before
when it
kinda
wears
goes,
off.
Right? THC mimics anandamide in that sense and lands on the receptor
Mhm.
and stays put for a longer amount of time
Time.
before it goes. CBD now attaches to the receptor.
Mhm.
This is what the science that I've been taught so far,
Okay.
is that it binds to the receptor in a slightly different way,
Okay.
on a different point. It doesn't land like a helicopter pad, like on its top.
Okay.
Nice and
Okay.
It kind of attaches differently, and even changes the platform for the THC to have a hard time
Okay.
binding.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Okay.
it's an interesting science to it. But at the end of the day, that when your endocannabinoid system is functioning properly,
Mhm.
and you're consuming these type of products, and so now we're getting, look, even back in the days, livestock used to eat hemp,
Mhm.
and people used to get doses to their endocannabinoid system via the meat they were eating, produce they'd be eating. It was in the medicines were hemp oil.
Okay.
That's where they would go to a pharmacy. A lot of the medicines were hemp oils.
Yes.
Right? So, homeostasis is a word that you hear a lot when you hear people speaking of the endocannabinoid system.
Mhm.
And that's essentially your body is able to fight off diseases in a way that it wasn't able to before.
Okay.
You know, as you get these things into it. And people are really concerned about getting high. And
Mhm.
this chocolate bar does not get you high, but there is most definitely a therapeutic feeling
Okay.
that comes with the chocolate bar. Like I
Okay.
said, it's not just your sweet, it's not just a candy bar.
Okay.
It's actual medicine.
Okay.
So
So does this fall into the realm of like edibles? Is this like an edible?
well, I mean, it is edible, but no, it doesn't. Because the reason why is because in 2018, the federal government signed a law into place called the Farm Law, the Farm Act, I think it was called. And in that, it legalized hemp, right? And when it did that, it's a differentiator between the cannabis industry, where edibles is the term, right? So it's no different. It's no more an edible than a Hershey's chocolate bar, in that sense, you know. So I don't really want to confuse people's language with it. You know what I mean? I consider it a superfood, and a superfood is a scientific term that is anything that has a certain nutritional profile to it, a certain
value to
density
it,
to it, right?
Yeah.
The numbers add up, and now it becomes a superfood.
Yeah.
Well, that most certainly falls in that category.
So is this the first product like this, or did someone else someplace?
To my knowledge,
Okay.
at the time that we released it, I don't know at the moment, and I haven't seen anything yet,
Okay.
to a full spectrum vegan chocolate bar Moringa infusion. No, this is the first the world has seen.
Okay. All right. Here it there, man. Right here in St. Croix, Virgin Islands, man.
VI.
And it's really dope that we're linked with Oregon, because that part of the world
Yeah.
is a gemstone.
Yeah.
And the people out there are really awesome. The whole vibe out there is a lot like home in senses.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you're producing it there too also?
Well, the Moringa, no, we produce it here. However, we don't produce this chocolate bar on St. Croix.
Okay.
I send the Moringa
To them, and they hook it up.
to Oregon.
Okay.
And Yokanin, who is CBD master blends or ancient medicinal herbs, he is he's the herbalist in the mix. He's the one who brings the hemp flower and
Okay.
the Moringa
Uh-huh.
and works with the chocolate manufacturer to get
Okay.
the mix just right. So
Okay.
the chocolate manufacturer has his kind of parameters he's got to stay within to make a dope chocolate.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then it's also got to pack, 'cause the fact that there's 100 milligrams of CBD in it is pretty amazing too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so, and that's tried and tested. It's proven. It has COAs with it. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah. And it's 70% chocolate. So, what do you think, Soup?
Yeah, it tastes good. I like it.
Yeah, it tastes good. I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
Nice taste.
You got a nice. So the question is, so there's 3 bars in here. Is it, you supposed to eat them all at one time, or this is like
well,
over?
no.
Okay, so
It's a
what's
good
how
question.
do you deal with this?
When I first got it,
Because I
was
feel like full now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I could probably eat a little bit more, but I'll be full.
Don't pass it over here. I've disappeared.
I'll feel full. I gotta eat the rest of this for breakfast. You know?
Yeah, and so the therapeutic dose from the recommended therapeutic dose from Yokanan, who I look at as the expert in this matter.
Okay.
Watches it as a third of the bar.
Okay.
As a therapeutic dose
Okay.
for the CBD.
Okay.
Particularly.
Okay.
And from the Moringa's perspective, we already did the math. You're getting about 350
Yeah.
or so.
Yeah.
330 milligrams.
Milligrams of
in
Moringa.
that third.
Yeah.
Now, I tell people it's best you even break that third in half
Mhm.
and eat that, and even that half into half, and
Yeah.
just take a small square.
Yeah.
The square
how
that
wide it is, break
right.
it that wide, and try that for your first round, because some people are going to be more sensitive than others. And I've had people literally pull me up and say, man, like,
Yeah, they
chocolate
felt the
bar is
vibe
the real
off.
thing, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, you know, they want to describe it as high, and I'm like, yo, be careful with that language, because if you consume THC, you will know that you are not high right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a totally different.
Yeah.
But you're getting a therapeutic effect.
Yeah.
That's
but
real.
not high though.
Yeah.
No, but not
and-
being high.
But the rest that people are getting
Yeah.
is amazing, and I know that this thing is really. Personally, I eat it every day. As a matter of fact, I had to go to Rhythms where they have it on the retail shelf and get 2 bars to
Okay.
bring here, because I've eaten my stock and sold my stock
Really?
until
Okay.
my next set comes.
Okay.
I eat this every day.
Okay.
Every night, as a matter of fact.
So you
Sometimes
eat it for
rest.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or
No,
just randomly throughout the day?
No, at night.
Oh, just mainly at night.
Yeah, I eat up to sometimes a whole third, sometimes even a half.
Okay.
Depending on how much, like,
Yeah.
if I really feel like I need some help to rest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And that's a big feedback that I've been getting from people.
Okay.
Is that it's helping with their rest.
Okay.
So much so that it's come to where people don't want to be without it. You know,
Oh, really? Okay.
They'll see themselves running out,
Okay.
and you know.
Okay. So this is the white chocolate here. So the dark chocolate you say is going to be here late this week, early next
Yeah,
week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, God willing and spirit. Like.
So this is the size, the regular size that it comes in. You have no bigger or no smaller.
No, for now this is the size.
Okay.
The next
One size
upgrade-
fits all, right?
Yeah, the next upgrade that we'll do, probably I would say within the next 6 months.
Okay.
We're working on this was a prototype essentially. We wanted to see how this was gonna go.
The white chocolate.
Just in general.
okay.
Like we wanted to see yeah. At the time it was white chocolate.
Okay.
I was always a proponent of dark chocolate. He's less of a chocolate man.
Okay.
So he was like, whatever. I'm like, yo, dark chocolate is where it's at. So,
Yeah.
but both are awesome. So what I was getting at was we're getting ready to upgrade the packaging to
Okay.
a box type, like when you get an artisan chocolate bar, it normally comes in like a cardboard box.
Yeah, I got you.
With the print on the box.
Okay.
And then this filament thing, a little thinner, would be on the inside of that cardboard box.
Okay, I
So
got you.
when that comes, it's gonna be a slightly bigger bar.
Okay.
But it'll be one standard size.
Okay.
Anybody else have it on distribution right now?
On St.
Yes,
Croix,
yeah.
yeah. So we got it in Quality Foods on Hess Road,
Okay.
Riddens in Christiansted, also in Christiansted, Oil Bar STX.
Yeah, I know what that is. That's on the. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
exactly where that is.
Um,
Okay.
And then that's it at the moment.
Okay. So this is 70% chocolate. So is that actually is that a lot of chocolate? You buy a Kit Kat. That's probably not.
No, we're close.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
70% coca is. I'm not a chocolate expert, so I don't know exactly what that means. But as a chocolate fanatic,
Yeah.
I tend to go for dark chocolate. I rarely buy
Yeah.
white chocolate, but the count I'm looking for in my dark chocolate is somewhere around 70
Okay.
or higher.
Okay.
You know, and it's just giving you more raw cacao.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what like this is coming from Ecuador, which I was really pleased to find out the other day. Like
Oh.
the source.
The source of the chocolate?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
fair traded out of
Okay.
fair trade vibes out of Ecuador, which I've been to Ecuador
Oh, really? Okay.
and I met really good people down there and formed some amazing relationships for the future. We're gonna be doing all kinds of cool things in the future. They got a whole Moringa thing they're going on with.
Oh, really?
You know what I
Okay.
mean? And it's just as two small business owners
Mhm.
in coming up, it's hard to or two small brands. It's hard to take that next step sometimes because
Okay.
it's like you don't want to sell out your vision.
Mhm.
you know,
Right.
to just any bidder
Anything,
who wants
right.
to make money in
Money.
it, because that would have been easy. We could have done this a million times over already.
Yeah, I got you.
But we want to keep it a more in-house thing. We want to be able to build the brand to where somebody within our circle or somebody with our nose, where there's love,
Yes.
that's coming with that money and respect for vision. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, man, I like it. I'm going to take another piece here. After this, so what are you going to be doing? After this show, you got like thoughts on other products?
You bringing back the Moringa line or?
Yeah, so this the brand that you see on when this thing gets upgraded, it's gonna have more of a Moringa lion face on it.
Okay.
And to be real with you, this is what I'm concentrating on right now.
Okay.
And the distribution of this.
Okay.
So what I'm doing next, right, is New York, which is not next. It's happening right now. So I want to
Okay.
shout out a young couple out in New York City, Salam and Steph.
Okay.
And they have a small company. Well, I hate to say small, but you know, it's a big thing that they're doing. But
Okay.
they're doing CBD yoga in the city,
Okay.
in New York City, and they're doing these events where people come and they consume some type of CBD tincture or the chocolate, and then they wait a couple minutes or whatever and start their yoga session.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
it's catching on and it's very popular. And through that, we're trying to get into some storefronts, you know what
Okay.
I mean, in CBD shops,
Okay.
which are springing up. But you know, the regulatory situation all over is kind of funny.
Okay.
Even though it's a federally legal substance, there's still blockage.
Yeah, there's some
happening.
pushback, yeah.
So, but we're super excited because it's like the chocolate bars. Everybody that's trying it is next to all these other products. It's like it's great for us because we get to, you know what I mean. We that's what I'm saying. I don't try to sell people. I never even try to sell people on Moringa Lion.
Yeah.
I just try to educate on Moringa.
Yeah.
And then show you here is a way of getting it
Yeah.
in its best form. I would rather you plant a tree in your yard
Mhm.
and consume the Moringa on your chart than buy my product.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I gotta put an apology out to the public on just the limited amount of the powder, and that's gonna be like that for a minute. I'm trying. I just got some farmland. I say I, but you know it's we.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, we just got some farmland, and we got II Farms that's emerging on a area South Shore.
Mhm.
So we're in the beginning stages of planting that up with Moringa.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
then setting up our processing facility there in the vicinity of there.
Okay.
You know what I
So
mean?
that's you're gonna do all the chocolate and the
No, the Moringa production.
Just the Moringa.
Just, okay,
And-
got you.
Right,
Got you.
and
You
then-
got- you got it the chocolate is coming from Oregon.
To scale up the Moringa production, because the Moringa. Well, we'll continue to be sending
Back and
the
forth.
Moringa away for now
Okay.
to get
To make the chocolate bar.
correct.
Yeah.
But
And then even capsules will have to be that until we can bring in the next upgrade of a facility to bring in the
To make the capsules.
encapsulation. 'Cause
Yeah.
you can't encapsulate and then send to get packaged. It's like it's a really complicated,
Yeah.
not so complicated. Like
Yeah.
it's so simple. If you have the money, bro, you just bow. You know what I mean? But and because I'm so picky about who I work with,
Yeah.
that it's not in capsules, because I'm not gonna give my customers buy another product if you want things with fillers in it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get you Moringa in a capsule, and I'm not gonna stop until I get that for
Yeah,
you. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Well, that's the right way. So keep at that, dude. That's the right way for sure. Yeah, man. So, I like this, man. I took another bite here, man. This is real good, man. This is something, man. So how much Moringa? You said there's 333 roughly milligrams of per bar.
Well,
but how
no,
many?
there's 1,000. There's a whole gram. There's 1,000 milligrams in the bar. What I was saying was there's around 300. I break 1,000 down into three.
Into threes, okay.
And you get it 330 something. Right?
Yeah.
And then that would be when you're taking a third of the bar.
Okay.
Which is the therapeutic dose recommended from ancient medicinal herbs.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're I would venture to say that you're sort of in the cannabis arena, and I mean, has it been hard to sort of get to where you are? I mean, I'm sure you've had some struggles. I'm sure you've had some great victories.
No, I mean, I wouldn't even say I'm in the cannabis realm. You know what I mean? At the point, I mean, technically, yeah.
Okay.
But like we're saying, there's a large differentiator between hemp and marijuana.
And
They're both
THC.
cannabis, so
Yeah.
yes, it is cannabis.
Yes.
Right? And I'm a large proponent of it, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I'm trying now, really, I'm just trying to educate people on the endocannabinoid system.
Okay.
Because with science like that, where's your argument? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're arguing against something that's proven to be beneficial, not just by somebody saying that it's good for you, like you can go and research the endocannabinoid system for yourself. And there's not enough, in my opinion, information out there. But it's because it's so new. How is something that is the most quintessential function of your body unknown to almost every single doctor on the island?
It seems like it's a conspiracy just because is the because of the marijuana. The whole
It would appear so.
It's like they put a whole blockage on it and just blocked it out.
And blocked it out,
just
yeah.
leave it there. You understand?
Right.
This system don't exist in the body, so
They
don't
really
talk
is.
about it and don't say because it's a part of this plant. So we don't want them to know that the body is also there that has it naturally.
Right.
You understand me? So they don't want. It seems like to me that they don't want you to make the connection. And that's what the big fight was about. That's my only opinion.
And I would agree with your opinion, and then take it to like, all right, well then let's talk about, and then let's enlighten people
Exactly.
as to what they discovered,
Mhm.
and then still tried to kind of hold back, because by now the endocannabinoid system should surely be in every textbook,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Like from grade school,
School,
anything that has
anything.
your nervous system, your digestive system, your circulatory system, go on.
Yeah.
All of them are governed by your endocannabinoid system, which is just as real
Mhm.
as all of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But people are like, well, we live in, but are we? You know what I mean? Like, really, like, everybody's sick at some degree. Nobody is in homeostasis.
exactly,
None of us.
exactly.
If you're functioning in this world, try to be as aital as you can. You know what I mean? And my discipline isn't up there where there is on some brethren and sistren. You know what I mean? In general, just people who are plant-based.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that is a really good thing to do. However, you're still not, your endocannabinoid system's not getting dealt with. Vegans are dying every day of cancer too, you know, brethren.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's known as known.
Plant-based people, listen, Yokanan, the brethren who did the chocolate bar, in 2016 or 17, he's diagnosed with bone marrow cancer, right? This a man who was Dr. Sebi diet since he was like 16 years old, man. This man in his 40s, bro. Sick as a dog, can't figure out what it is. Goes to the doctor, boom, finally they find out what it is. I forget the name, like it's Melakua or something like that, for bone marrow cancer.
Okay.
He's on the deathbed, like he's on his way out, essentially. You know what I mean? And when he found out what it was, he was able to treat it. And he did it with RSO, which is a high concentration extract of the hemp flower, and with mushrooms.
Okay.
I don't like I'm saying he's the herbalist in this thing. Like it blows my mind how much not how much he knows, but what he puts in to practice on
His effort.
Yeah, man. I mean, his products are standardized. Like,
Yeah.
it's amazing what he does. Netflix just went up into this dude's kitchen with him, like, when they found out, because word got out.
Oh, really?
that
Okay.
This dude lived through this
Yes.
and saved his own life.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
hear how crazy this is, right? So, he beat the cancer
Mhm.
in a really short amount of time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, relatively.
Okay.
Right? And it was gone. But he was skin and bones, is how he describes it. And I know what that looks like.
Mhm.
My dad passed of cancer. I know what cancer does to you.
Mhm.
And he couldn't gain any weight at all. And remember, this is plant-based his entire life. Everybody was like, you? What kind of craziness is going on, right? Man, he introduced animal protein into his body, and he was able to gain back the weight
Mhm.
that he needed to.
Mhm.
And so that, like, totally was like, wow, for me, cause it gives me, yeah, man, I keep things open-minded. I'm like probably one of the more, you know, people call me Rasta, but sure, I hail a king, you know what I mean? But in terms of how I see things, it's really easy to disrespect the traditional Rastafari, you know what I mean? And I see that happen a lot.
Okay.
And
say that.
so with this, when I heard that, I was like, wow, you know, who could possibly in the plant-based community could possibly stand up and argue that? This man had the knowledge on on plants that should have beefed him up,
Okay.
and he couldn't do it.
Okay.
So the conversation went way out there, but you know what I mean? I try to as I'm saying, I'm a holistic approach.
A holistic approach. to-
Holistic is whole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know?
How did you sort of link up with all these different people you mentioned? I mean,
Right.
so these are just small business people in Oregon, and then
Some
how
are
did you
small,
link?
some of the links are small, some are big, and
Oh.
some are overnight becoming gigantic.
Oh, really? Okay.
You know, because they're doing things right and patiently.
Okay.
A lot of people are losing a lot of money in that industry up
Okay.
there, and even here already, because people are already, you know, as soon as the medical passed, it turned into this, is like everybody's talking about, everybody's trying to figure out a way to get in on it, to get money and money. Well, I hate to bust your bubble, but I got a whole barrage of people that can tell you a very sad tale.
Okay.
How they lost everything
Okay.
already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And some are holding on to their, like, by a thread to be able to get through that time period to where they could potentially do.
Okay.
Some who were a little bit more careful and who went more towards hemp,
Okay.
because hemp had the advantage of bypassing those regulations,
Okay.
which are killing the industries in these communities.
Okay.
Like we owe this whole thing to the brothers and sisters of Mendocino and Northern California. We owe as far as legislation change, absolutely.
Okay.
Those are the guys who stood up for the very first time to their sheriffs and
Okay.
said, we're not stopping.
Okay.
And what can we do together to make it a better situation?
Yeah.
And that was the beginning 35, 40 years ago or whatever of the medical turning points, the first conversations that were made with law enforcement.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because the sheriffs were protecting those communities from federal raids.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
isn't there a Netflix I think there's a Netflix special about that.
I'm sure there is. Man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
probably
As you talk,
out.
this is in Northern California, right? Out just way. They're out. I think the show is they're outlaws.
Yeah, and that sounds like how they would be portrayed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
As you were
And
talking there, I
they
said, "Well, I've
haven't-
seen that series."
They have I haven't seen, I don't know about that series. I know about that real life. You know what
Okay.
I mean? These guys are people who we've had that chance to sit down with. You know
Okay.
what I mean? And get to hear their tale and actually get to see their response to how things look in the unfolding of of what's happening here. You know, in the first proposals that are being made before regulations are even rolled out. They're happy with the way that it's happening here.
Okay.
Because they hope that it can be maintained.
Okay.
In lieu of the vultures who are most certainly circling.
Oh, really? Okay.
Those
Wow.
conversations been had. The same. We're talking about the multi-trillion-dollar industry in coming years. I mean, they're still talking about it in the billions, but come on, when we start talking about hemp creep
Yeah.
and hemp plastic and
Yeah.
hemp lumber, and people get educated that they can have their entire home
Homes built by
built
it.
out of lumber.
Yeah.
It's not only stronger,
Mhm.
right? Because right now it would be more expensive. It would be very expensive to build a home out of complete hemp
Yeah.
products in the standard of how we want a home to look like in a modern day. You know what
Yes.
I mean? You want, maybe not looking for a mansion, but you ain't looking for a box
Yeah.
made with filled with dirt. Some people like a dirt house,
Yeah.
which is cool. Home tech
Yeah.
or earth homes are cool, whatever.
Yeah.
But we're talking like
To
regular
sort of build
neighborhood.
like a regular modern
let's be
kind of
real,
house.
right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about a suburb or some type of new housing development on the island that could be made complete. Listen,
Yeah.
everything can be made
From hemp.
From the hemp to the glass. Listen to the glass.
Yeah, man. We know this, but you see, it's just the hypocrites that run the world
Yeah.
that portray this, and the people and play on the people intelligent, and they're not wise enough to know that You know, just do your own research too, because for me, it's like every medicine you're making, the base of it come from some herb.
Yeah.
It comes from a plant. Then-
And even the ones that they formulate in a pharmacy is mimicking it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what. So my whole thing is that if you're taking the base of the plant and then you condemning a plant that you know that's going to give you all the benefits, then so you've been a total hypocrite.
There must be an agenda.
And there is. And there is.
The good news, in my opinion, from what I'm seeing, and I study the headlines of policy changing like almost to like an obsessive amount.
Mhm.
Like I feel
You
like
got to keep up with just what's happening and stuff.
when I
right?
say when you got to, I don't know, that's where my zeal's at. Like I'm excited to learn about
Yeah.
the different places, the different challenges that people are facing, the different crazy things you see happening with corporations coming in.
Yeah.
Like so in Illinois recently, they passed for recreational,
Mm.
but in that there's no ability for you to grow your own medicine. Like it was still legal for you to if you wanted to grow like even one plant.
Oh, really? Okay.
Right,
Okay.
and they're trying to that trend of legislation change, which isn't gonna hold
Oh,
for
they
very
can't.
long.
It can't.
But that's to show you the vultures
The
and the
mindset.
ability
Yes,
of big
I-
money
Yeah.
to drive policy.
Yeah.
But now the smaller guys are getting hip to this. It started in Mendo is where it's happening because they have the longest track record with it, right?
Mhm.
Those guys were supplying the whole nation, like the entire United
United
States
States,
was
yes.
being supplied by Northern California farmers for generations, and now their whole communities are being devastated economically
Mhm.
from every possible angle. While others around all the place are scrambling. Like it's not even an argument of, oh, you never been in weed, how you gonna make money out of it now? And it's like, I don't care, bro. Like it's business.
Mm.
At any point you want to jump in, you want to try your thing. Like to me, it's like I don't know. I try not to like debate with people too much on too many things like that. Well, to go on with Soup was saying is that you're right. There's an agenda in place. However, that their stronghold is getting ripped away from them because there's no way to stop the education of this happening, and people are more. Listen, when
More and more people are
the
learning and
tastings-
understanding. Yeah.
the tastings that I've done with the chocolates,
Mm.
the response from senators, you know what I mean,
Mm.
from educators, like who? Okay, I had a she's not a professor. She wasn't a professor at UVI. She was a teacher in a school on St. Croix. I don't remember the young lady's name. She came and pressed me at a conference we were having, or that was being held, called Carnival at Complex.
Yes. That was a few months. Yeah, a few months back. Yeah.
And it was really cool. And they had some. That's where we met some people from that are involved in the industry
Okay.
that are on they're big scales. They're like, these are big people. And
Oh, okay.
the people who went to that conference probably benefited a lot for if they were listening with open ears to it. Anyway,
Okay.
so she comes in and she's pressing us about the chocolate, you know what I mean? And she's saying, would you give this to a child? And I say, yeah. And she wasn't expecting that such a bold
Answer, right.
And she said, why? How? And I said, well, because they have an endocannabinoid system.
Mm-hmm.
And this is good for them. They're a
Mhm.
developing human being, and the endocannabinoid system is a primary function
Of the body.
of
yeah.
your body.
Yeah.
So if it's developing, yes, you want your endocannabinoid system well flourish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, you don't give a 14-year-old or 12-year-old a joint to smoke. Kind of stupidness you come in with.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But let's be realistic about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I'm glad that the federal government made that distinction.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily agree with point 3, like where did that come from? You know what I
Mhm.
mean? That idea that, and it made it very difficult because remember now a farmer
Mm-hmm.
who is trying now, like in Kentucky, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky farmers were fed up with not being able to make money.
Okay.
They needed something to drive their agricultural
So
economy.
they're growing hemp?
A lot of farmers have gone to hemp.
Okay.
But Kentucky did it with like this kind of okay,
Mm-hmm.
but not okay. Meaning, Oregon, for example,
Mhm.
has a USDA approved hemp plan in place.
Okay.
Their hemp program was approved by the USDA.
Okay.
And that was the stipulation in the Farm Bill, if you read it.
Okay.
Is that you got to read the whole thing. You can find the summary of those sections in
Yeah.
it. But they essentially, it was saying that it was made legal subject to state regulation, state permitting processing.
Okay.
That ended up being, well, who's going to approve this process per state, right? And so the USDA is tasked with that. They've put that process on hold, and that's why nothing can happen in St. Croix yet, legally, because it's not anybody dragging their feet.
Okay.
Like, people like to quickly blame positive or blame somebody else. Like, all points go towards positive all the time.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
You know
He's
what
sort
I
of the
mean? He's
scapegoat.
like,
Yeah.
but I mean, at the same time, that's the responsibility he took on to do that. You know, he knew what would come with that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Surely he knows.
Yeah.
You know, and it's frustrating for him at times, I'm sure, but he's a tough warrior, and he's
Oh.
doing a really good job.
Okay.
You know, within his capacity. So nobody's dragging their feet on hemp in the Virgin Islands. What's happened is that the USDA has put a hold on their approval processing of the applications, essentially, that would be coming from each state.
Okay.
Right? So until a time period which is supposed to be at the end of the year, they say at the end of 2019, who knows how long that's actually going to take, but essentially they'll be dropping a set of guidelines
Okay.
that is states will follow in their setting up of their plan. You know,
Okay.
certain things have to be in place
Yes.
for your approval.
Yes.
And
yes.
when they set that guidelines up, then the ones that already were approved are grandfathered in. Kentucky is one of the states, to the best of my knowledge, was never approved.
Okay.
So it's rough
Okay.
if you're a farmer in Kentucky and maybe put your last into trying a thing with hemp.
Yeah.
Because it's true, you can do really well in hemp.
Okay.
You know, and it's almost fail proof.
Okay.
Because at the worst case scenario, the biomass from even a completely devastated crop can go to the extractor, and any molds or anything that were present in that crop are completely eliminated. It's it's been sanitized, and it's isolated into serious science that's doing this stuff. However, you know, you hear tales of bad seed.
Yeah.
You know, that the crop that the farmer thought he paid millions, millions of dollars in hemp seeds.
Okay.
And it was from a breeder who was just trying to make a quick dime.
Oh, okay.
And sold seeds that were not genetically proper. They weren't stabilized.
Okay.
They weren't coming. Now there's other people who took that more serious years ago.
Okay.
And now can give seed and sell seed at $1 a piece.
Okay.
Right. And sell them at $30 million, 30 million seeds at a time.
Oh, really?
To these
Okay.
farmers, right?
Okay.
That are coming with a perfect uniform.
Yeah.
To a degree.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have phenotypical differences here and there, but I mean, we're talking about these guys that fine-tune it without genetically modifying anything.
Okay.
Right? It's not a GMO, which is happening.
Okay. Yeah.
It's happening. But you know.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Do you think any of that's going to happen here? I mean, like, for example, like growing hemp.
Absolutely.
I mean, do you think that we would have like a whole manufacturing facility built here?
Yes, we
will.
You
think is that a possibility?
Not a possibility. We will.
Okay.
We will. The reason there is none is because nobody can put the investment money until a permitting process is put in place.
Okay.
No permitting process can be put in place. And you cannot be protected legally until you have a permit.
Okay.
Right? And that's not happening until the USDA releases the guidelines.
Okay.
And then we'll have a chance to put in it will be on positive at that point.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
To get moving.
Well, the plan will have to is going to be coming from the Department of Agriculture.
Okay, I got you.
To my knowledge, the Department of Agriculture would be the permitting agency.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And that's pretty standard across the industry. I think that most states, if you look at it, when we looked at it, it was showing that most states Department of Agriculture issues that
Okay.
that permit. And when that happens, for sure, in the future,
Okay.
there is a future for farmers here
Okay.
in the hemp industry.
Okay.
In my opinion, because it's not slowing down. There's no slowing down on this thing. There's gonna be, and remember, we're only trending on the CBD isolate
Mm-hmm.
products.
Yeah.
That's all we're tripping on right now.
Okay.
I'm telling you, hempcrete is a real thing.
Okay.
And it becomes, and when people really get hip to what you're getting when you build your house with this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you're getting negative carbon footprint, which to some people they don't care about that. You know?
Yeah.
They don't care that their house now is an absorbent of pollution.
Mm-hmm.
That's what hemp is doing, and it's curing. The concrete is perpetually curing.
Okay.
The lumber that's made with it. Go ahead and Google it. Anytime we could Google it and fact check anything you want. You know.
Yeah.
You will now find a more durable fabric.
Okay.
A more durable lumber. Sorry, we were talking about lumber.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
reason for that is what most lumber, pine that you're getting,
Mm-hmm.
the pine tree, the longest fiber, continuous fiber in a pine tree is like 1/8 of an inch or 1/8 of a centimeter even. It's retarded short.
Yeah. Small. Yeah.
The longest fiber in a hemp plant
Mm-hmm.
is as tall as the plant is.
Itself, yeah.
In textile industrial hemp, there's strains that shoot up 12, 15, 20 feet, right?
Yeah.
Because they were growing it for the stock.
Yeah.
Well, now you have a continuous fiber that's that long that whatever you're making after that is
Mhm.
that much stronger.
Stronger.
So the board that you're seeing is held together by these tiny little fiber
Yeah.
continuous. Now you have lumber that's,
Y-
you know what I'm saying? It's,
Yeah.
it's virtually unbreakable. Like I've seen them put it between blocks and then drive like Tacomas over it.
And it won't break.
And the thing just whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? No, like I'm saying, there's gonna be a time period of people are gonna want to build like that, but they're not gonna be able to afford to.
Mm-hmm.
Only certain people are gonna be able to afford to. But as it keeps going, now you start to see that same lumber that was being made with pine, that pine tree that got cut down to make that 2x4,
Mm-hmm.
that's gone, B, and that's gonna that pine, the next generation of pine tree at 20 years. You know, it's already been growing, but the point is, a pine tree is not a fast-growing
Yeah.
plant.
It's gonna take years.
The
Yeah.
same amount of space
Mm-hmm.
can be flipped, however many crops of hemp you can get out of that square footage, and then plant it again.
Yeah.
If the farming is done
Yeah.
responsibly.
Yeah. I
You know
got
what
you.
I mean, and that's what I'm
So
a big
it's
proponent of too.
quicker
because-
turnaround
Right.
to
like,
making product. Yeah.
yeah, you know, you want to keep things on the regenerative part of agriculture, and that's what I was really picking up from His Majesty's speech.
Okay.
Was that when I was hearing the modern farming, right?
Mm.
And at a certain time period,
Mm.
that was what we have as the agricultural industrial complex.
Okay.
Would have been modern agricultural practices, right? Well, now if you look at the cutting edge modern agriculture,
Mm.
regenerative, no-till, the whole script got flipped. And that is really the lead-in trend.
Mm.
It's not the big agribusiness way. They're struggling, dude. Like
Okay.
the big farmers of the Midwest and so.
Yeah.
It's not the
A lot of
big,
them are going bankrupt, I believe.
it's not the big they're not a bunch of big monsters that, bro, it's the whole thing's crashing down.
Yeah.
And it's sad for people who were sold on false dreams. It's sad for even a farmer who was making big and doing good with his family, and now they're struggling. Bro, I don't laugh at that. I don't say good for you, no. You know what I mean? But maybe there was some short-sightedness in it. But literally, commercial farmers are paying these regenerative consultants, essentially, people who are dealing with soil health.
Okay.
And the soil food web.
Yeah.
And how important that is to agriculture.
Yeah.
And that is what I'm trying to do with this whole thing.
Mhm.
Is
But
my little piece of farming.
You trying to do this stuff here?
I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to make spring gut flow again.
Okay.
I'm trying to show examples of how how here on St. Croix we can change the whole water table
Okay.
in a short amount of time. And in
Okay.
order to do that, people on St. Croix, I love us for this, but we got to see it.
Mm-hmm.
I could talk all day about what I've learned about these things.
Okay.
But until I actually transform a property and make an effort to do so and get to see that happen, nobody's gonna believe me, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Google it, man. Just Google it.
But they have, like, literally they transform landscapes.
Okay.
We can have Guts on St. Croix running again with it'll take an effort, and it's not something that's gonna happen overnight. I won't see it in my lifetime, but hopefully we can set an example in this generation, our lifetime, that would be an inspiration of a torch to carry. And we have to do that quickly.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, the youngsters need to see it.
Yes, to believe, yeah.
Right, they don't even with agribusiness being where it was. There ain't no farmer youth on St. Croix like that. They in produce farming. We know where the farmer youths are at.
Yes,
Right,
I, yes,
but
I.
it's not to say there ain't no farmers on St. Croix. That's craziness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or even that the youths aren't into farming.
Okay.
They're just not into farming tomatoes, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But give them the chance to see that industry can be made with it. They can be entrepreneurs. in
Okay.
it, that they can attain their creative energy and the guy youths I know, I just see them, my boy, with a lot of zeal for learning about how to make plant foods out of plants, how to change up the earth. Man, they got all kind of engineering minds. Like these youth, yeah, they're freaking out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But a lot of times, just over the years, you'll get shut down out of that. You know what I mean? Even if people are encouraging to do that, it's one thing to be encouraged. It's another thing to actually be able to make a business out of it.
Yeah.
So how are we gonna? How there's ways to high density farm and make a good living on tomatoes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? There was a time period in my life when we were doing really good at the market. You know what I mean? Me and my team, we were doing good.
Yeah.
And I was just a youth, and I say me and my team, but I'm just a protege in that realms. Right?
Yeah.
But getting to see that money comes out of something that you plant and you work towards, you water, you take care of, and you make money from it at the end, and you feel good, you eating. Not only that, when you're planting organically, right, the vibe from it is buzzing. People are just so amped to it. The food is so beautiful, right? And when I say organically, I'm not talking about like just because you're not using chemical fertilizers or chemical sprays. You're using, no, bro. Even you using neem or things like that.
Yeah.
You're messing with bees. You're messing with the structure. And it was really difficult for me. I had to pull out of vegetable farming because it wasn't clicking.
Oh, okay.
I felt like we had been working too hard to see what happened when we first tilled the soil and first did that first set, how much tomatoes came.
Yeah.
No pests.
Okay.
And in a short amount of time, how that changed.
Okay.
And how I see that happening over and over in St. Croix with different farmers leaving land to rest. You know what I mean? What does that even mean? Like, it's not to say that the art of composting and thing is forgotten. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's hard to say things. People be like, "My son, who you don't even know how to plant in my garden." You know what I mean? Like, but we're talking about like to scale, man. We're talking about like down Center Line Road, having tomatoes from Center Line to the highway. You know what I mean?
Large scale
To
operation.
having highway to highway. You have
Yeah.
whole land plots that are regeneratively, constantly bringing us our food.
Yeah.
In a way that is naturally pest resistant.
Yes.
And like I say, I'm gonna keep studying. I'm gonna keep doing it. Finally, we got some land that we can put into place.
Yeah.
But it's not like, bring in agriculture to till up. There ain't no tilling happening, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's a whole different approach.
Yeah, I
You
got
know
you.
what I mean?
I got
And
you.
people have heard of it. People love the idea. People encourage it. But you know what I mean? Like, it takes money to do these things.
Yeah,
it
it
takes
takes money.
people to actually put money into it. It
Yeah.
takes effort, time.
Yeah.
That how do you do that and juggle a job? It's frustrating for people in these times, especially people my age, man, who really have dreams
Yeah.
Yes.
to do brands and things, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden, you got a couple of youth. You know what I mean? You got a family to take care of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How do you man? Hey, yo, listen, I see a lot of young people in the Virgin Islands do it real well with it too, that balance,
Yeah.
Like, figuring out how they're gonna bring their business to the next level to where that they can hire themselves out of whatever job
They have,
they're
yeah,
being.
basically, yeah.
And then still wise youth who are, instead of being in some lockdown 9 to 5, they're trying some way to get some type of trade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether it's in the culinary arts, you know what I mean, carpentry, masonry.
The skill crafts,
You know,
yeah.
and there's like, I got some older brothers who are not as, you know what I mean, not to say like old like you guys, but like, you know, between us, right? Who honestly feel like it's a lost cause, yo. Like the youth of today, they in a predicament that is unprecedented, which is true. But it's hard for me sometimes to even express that hope, because when you're talking to somebody who's like lost hope, and you feeling like there's hope to it, like you now that you're like the giddy, optimistic one that's like unrealistic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're perceived that way, yeah.
But B, that ain't even that big of a thing, because the amount of youth who are juggling and branding and making their clothing lines, you know what I mean, and trying to figure out how they're gonna make something to sell it. Because I mean, I see it a lot, and it's growing, and I encourage it.
Yeah.
So any young listener that listens to this, or any parents, you know what I mean, start encouraging that.
Yeah.
Stop shutting down your children's dreams, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Our guest tonight is Ross Paul. He got this new, real quick, we'll just run through this here. Right now we tasted the vegan white chocolate. It's got 60% cocoa, 1,000 milligrams of moringa, and it's full spectrum CBD hemp. And then you say the chocolate is going to be available like early next week, something like that?
Well, the dark chocolate.
The dark chocolate.
The white chocolate's already on island, been on island, and people love it.
Okay.
The
But the dark chocolate's coming.
It will be here at the end of the week.
Okay. So where can they get it?
Same places, Rhythms,
in Christiansted Town.
Quality Foods.
Quality Foods over there on Hess Road.
Yeah. And Oil Bar STX.
Oil Bar STX is on that back road in Christiansted Town. I can't think of it.
I'm totally interested in putting them in West. It's just I haven't.
You gotta find a place.
It just hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
You know? But I would love to have somebody out there. But like I say, you know, like I am not saying I don't want to get into none for no personal vibes, but I want it to be somebody from here with a store.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't just because you have a CBD shop, whatever.
Yeah.
You just came. I'm not really.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm not. You know what I mean? We got this. We're trying to put this thing on a global level. We're trying to get this thing in here in New York City, Miami, Atlanta.
Okay.
Get it buzzing around the place.
Buzzing around. Okay.
Let. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Ross Paul, we're gonna leave it at that, man. Sounds like you could talk. Sounds like you got a lot of information to share, and what we need is information to better understand how this all works, so that we can better ourselves in life.
Yes, I.
You know, that's how I perceive it, man. So we definitely gonna have him back on, man, to talk some more about it. But he's got the new right now. It's the vegan white chocolate that's out at Rhythms,
Quality
Foods, and then early next.
Oil shop.
Yeah, and then early next week will be the dark chocolate mixed with moringa, and we tried it. I like it. Thanks for coming through and blessing us.
Follow at Moringa Lion.
That's going to ask you what's your social media stuff.
Well, yeah, just that one for at Moringa Lion is one to just. Oh, sorry, at Moringa_Lion.
Okay.
We're not too active on it at the moment.
Okay.
But just to see any updates, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Any big updates, we update on that thing. We try to keep it.
Okay.
It's not
That's Instagram, right?
Yeah,
That's Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we have a Facebook page as well, Moringa Lion.
Okay.
Facebook page.
Okay. Soup, any final words, man?
Ross Paul, always a pleasure to reason with you. Continue to do what you're doing. Most I bless you. Rastafari lives. One perfect love.
Yeah, Ross Paul would like to say, one perfect love is our prayers and his blessings. When you put it all together, you get one perfect love, man. So on that note, Ross Paul, we're gonna have you back because there's a lot more to talk about. This is a movement that we gotta push through for everybody's sake. So on that note, we're out. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great weekend. Real quick, I want to say that this is the It's Your Perspective Talk Show every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 p.m. until Check us out on the TuneIn Radio app. Search for streaming live from the VI.com radio. 24-hour day adult mix of music. We play the most Virgin Islands local artist music every hour for sure. If you don't believe me, tap into it. You hear it yourself. So on that note, we're out. Everybody have a good night, good weekend. Peace.
Yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo. We pour a shot and say yo, yo, yo. Watch the gyal them a go, go, go. Wine and dip and go low, low, low. Up and down like a yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo. Up and down like a yo, yo. Party turn over. Valley turn up, enough Benz and Beam and Rover. Man, phone a ring, some bad little thing want come over. Them a bubble like soda. We going all night long. All night long. We going